Making production-ready systems means being aware of common failure scenarios and coming up with engineering solutions to prevent them from happening in the first place. Here are 5 common failures you need to be aware of when using AI in your system. In the all-too-common event of a network failure, it is impossible to know if the intended mutation took place or not. Was my request processed on the server and it was the response that failed? Or did my request never make it in the first place? When this occurs, the most natural thing to do is to catch the error and simply retry. But if you're not careful, this can easily result in double charging the user, for example. Another variant of this failure is the network is completely healthy, but we've hit some deadline somewhere else in the system and returned that information to the user, network timeout error, for instance. What is the user meant to do with this information? They don't know if their intended action succeeded or not, so they have no way of knowing if it's safe to retry. In almost any system of sufficient complexity, you're likely to find a queue. Queues are very useful, and one of the most common ways they are used is to durably process asynchronous work. Most often, once the task is added to the queue, the user is returned a 200 OK. But what if the item that was added to the queue fails to process at a later time? How was the user notified that that 200 OK that we sent was actually provisional? Let's imagine that you have 2 people trying to buy one remaining item at almost exactly the same time. Not much of a stretch if you've ever tried to buy a ticket to a popular show. Both of these users first do a read to see if the item is available. It is. They then both attempt to purchase the item. In the worst case, what happens here is only one user succeeds in purchasing the item, and the stock ledger now says -1. Let's imagine you have a checkout workflow. This checkout has a number of steps, but the 2 that matter here is one external call to a payment processor to charge the user's credit card, and a subsequent call to an email service to email them their receipt. What happens if the machine running the checkout dies after the charge but before the email? The user paid, but they have no receipt that they paid. Should we rerun the workflow and risk charging the user's credit card twice? Should we fail permanently and never give them a receipt? How do we know where this user left off? The 5 problems I've outlined here are all issues of safe retries and atomicity in your backend. These are the kinds of common failures that we'll dive into at our AI Hack Night. Can your agent-written code survive production? You'll learn how to spot these failure scenarios and how to persuade your AI to engineer around them. So your agent-written code is in fact ready for production.